Why has Uzbekistan suddenly become the center of attention in the international arms trade market? Will the Central Asian country really abandon its traditional Russian-made fighter jets and embrace Chinese-made ones? Recently, a number of foreign media reports that Uzbekistan is negotiating with China on the import of new fighter jets, although the specific model has not yet been announced. But the outside world has generally speculated that the candidates are locked in the J-17, Dragon, Block 3 and J-10C E2 4.5 generation fighters, of which the former, due to the cost-effective advantage, is considered to be more likely to the former is considered more likely due to its cost-effective advantage. This trend not only reflects the subtle changes in the geopolitical pattern of Central Asia, but also reveals the rise of Chinese military equipment in the global market. From air defense systems to fighter jets, Uzbekistan has gradually built up a Chinese weapons ecosystem, and the modernization of its air force may completely rewrite the regional military. The modernization of Uzbekistan's air force may completely rewrite the regional military balance. As one of the main inheritors of the Soviet legacy, the current state of Uzbekistan's air force is a living fossil of the Cold War. Of the 30 MiG-29s in service, only 10 are operationally capable, while the Su-27, once the main heavy combat aircraft, will be retired by 2020, leaving an aging fleet, and the supply of spare parts has been exacerbated by the shrinking capacity of the Russian military industry due to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. This dilemma forces Tashkent must look for alternatives, and the plight of the traditional suppliers of Russia precisely for China to provide a breakthrough. The Russian-made Su-30SM, although in the sensors and range advantage, but the unit price of up to $50 million and delivery cycle is difficult to guarantee. And even more fatal is that the Russian army's own war damage caused by the capacity of the crowded has been letting the export orders have come to a standstill. In contrast, France's Rafale, although excellent performance, but the unit price of more than $100 million of luxury goods, positioning far beyond the budget of the US side. South Korea's F-50 because of US technical constraints are directly excluded. This high price barriers in front, after the black hole of production capacity predicament, the Chinese fighter aircraft pushed to the seat of the optimal solution. The competitive advantage of China's warplanes is no accident, but a trio of technology, cost and strategic synergy. To Lord Block 3, for example, this Sino-Brazilian joint research and development of light combat aircraft unit price of only $30 million to $40 million, but equipped with the J-10 homologation of the KL-J-7A active phased array radar, PL-15E over-the-horizon missiles, and other advanced equipment in the desert environment. Adaptability and maintenance costs are optimized for the depth of the needs of Central Asia. Its radar detection range of 170 kilometers, with a range of 145 kilometers of PL-15E missiles, can be in the opponent has not yet noticed the completion of a fatal blow. This ability in 2020, Pakistan and India's air war has been verified in combat. The J-10C, as a medium-sized multi-purpose fighter, is priced at $60 million to $70 million per unit, but its track record of defeating the Su-35 in simulated confrontations, its air control capability comparable to that of the Rafale, and its seamless compatibility with China's air defense system make it a core option for building a regional air defense network. What's more, Uzbekistan has already established an operation and maintenance system for Chinese equipment through the procurement of KS-1C medium-range air defense system, an FM-90 close-in defense system, and this ground-air systematic compatibility advantage is a strategic bargaining chip that is hard for French and Russian equipment to match. China's one-stop solution also includes training, maintenance centers and technology transfer, and even accepts the flexible payment of resources for equipment, which is very attractive to the financially strapped US side. The geopolitical deep game is equally murky. The decline of Russia's military prestige due to the war quagmire has prompted Central Asian countries to reassess their security dependence. Uzbekistan's move to sequester half of its MiG-29s is seen as a silent protest against the supply chain of Russian-made equipment. China's economic ties through the Belt and Road Initiative, and its strategy of selling arms without political conditions, are dissolving the borders of traditional spheres of influence. It is worth paying attention to is that, if this military procurement landing will be following the Red Flag air defense system, China's second major breakthrough of the former Soviet Union allies, this progressive penetration not only reshaped the regional defense pattern, more likely to trigger Kazakhstan and other neighboring countries to follow suit. The formation of Sino-Asian military trade, the domino effect of China-Asia military trade. In addition, China's warplane export model contrasts sharply with the West. The United States through the AF-50 bundled political conditions, the French, Rafale, with technical restrictions, while China's purely commercial logic to provide, depoliticized, deal, so that Uzbekistan can not only upgrade the armament, but also do not have to choose sides between the United States and Russia. This strategy has gradually become a brand name in Central Asia, Africa, and other, middle zone, countries, and has become an invisible driver of China's arms trade expansion. While the current focus is on the Dragon and J-10C, Uzbekistan's long-term plans may be more ambitious. Several reports have pointed out that the country is paying close attention to the progress of China's fifth-generation stealth fighter J-35, and in the future it may introduce this model through the high and low collocation mode, forming a three-tiered defense system similar to Pakistan's Dragon plus J-10C plus J-35. This kind of phased upgrade can not only control the expenditure, but also realize the steady improvement of combat power, especially suitable for Central Asian countries with limited military expenditure. The autonomy of China's aviation industry has also paved the way for exports. The shortcomings of the Dragon's previous dependence on the Russian-made D-93 engine are being gradually made up for. The domestic turbofan 13 engine has entered the testing stage, and the future is expected to realize the autonomy of the whole industry chain. In addition, China's technological breakthroughs in radar, avionics, missiles and other subsystems, so that the performance of the Dragon Block 3 is directly comparable to the 4.5 generation of fighters, while the cost of only one-third of similar products in the West. Despite the significant advantages, variables remain. The video of a test flight by a Ukrainian pilot, circulating on social media has not been officially confirmed, and historical experience suggests that similar negotiations could be delayed by disagreements over budget allocation or technology transfer. In addition, Russia could interfere with the deal through energy cooperation or political pressure, while the United States could lobby Central Asian countries on the basis of the China threat theory. However, China's deepening presence in Central Asia has created countervailing leverage. Uzbekistan depends on the Chinese market for its natural gas exports, and Turkmenistan's gas pipeline needs to transit through China, an economic interdependence that provides a security cushion for military and trade cooperation. Uzbekistan's choices go beyond mere arms purchases and epitomize the reconfiguration of power in Eurasia. While Russian weapons are losing their aura due to battlefield performance, and while Western equipment is being pushed aside due to political ties, China is filling the defense vacuum in the global south with cost-effective and systematic solutions. For Uzbekistan, this is not only an equipment upgrade, but also a strategic turnaround from a single dependency to a multi-balance. For China, every order is for made in China. Name, from anti-aircraft missiles to fighter jets, through the land and air, Chinese weapons corridor has quietly formed in Central Asia. In the future, this has been ruled by the Meg and Sukhoi Sky, will usher in more Dragon trajectory. The answer may be hidden in the ink of the contract to be signed in Tashkent, and the more far-reaching impact will shake the geopolitical pattern of the entire Eurasian continent, with the roar of the engines of Chinese warplanes.